Hey everyone, and welcome back to Exposed Scandalous Files of the Elite. I'm your host, Jim Chapman, and today I'm continuing with the second episode in the Bad Boy series on Aaron Hernandez. Now, if you did not listen yet to the first episode, go back and listen. I dropped that one last week, and I also dropped an episode featuring Aaron's jailhouse phone calls. So go check those out if you have not yet done so. Now, the last time that I left you, it was June 29th of 2015, and the trial for the murder of Odin Lloyd began. The prosecution started calling witnesses after opening statements were completed, and the first of which was Aaron Hernandez's fiancée, Miss Shay Jenkins. So it's important to mention that her testimony came conveniently with a guaranteed immunity of any prosecution in a role in Odin Lloyd's murder. And folks, she did play a pretty significant role. However, this immunity agreement did come with the stipulation that she could not plead the fifth. She had to answer all the questions. So, key parts of her testimony. Let's talk about that. Now, she was questioned regarding her actions on June 18th of 2013, which was the day after Lloyd's body was discovered. She admitted to driving to a Rhode Island McDonald's parking garage. This was in the middle of the night, to deliver $500 to Bo Wallace. Bo Wallace was a friend of Aaron Hernandez and one of the four people allegedly in the car the night Lloyd was killed. Now, the prosecution was suggesting this was some form of a payoff to keep Wallace's mouth shut. But I mean, $500 seems a little light for a murder payoff, especially to someone of Aaron Hernandez's means, but there you have it. Another significant aspect of Jenkins' testimony was her admission that she removed a box from the basement of the home that she shared with Aaron Hernandez shortly after Lloyd's murder. So surveillance footage presented during the trial showed Jenkins carrying out a large trash bag. And this large trash bag contained what appeared to be a large box. You could just see the shape of something that looked like a large box in this trash bag. She took the bag, placed it in the trunk of her sister's car, which she used to leave that home. So when the prosecution asked her about that, she said Aaron had instructed her to remove the box and dispose of it, and that he emphasized it was important. She then claimed she had no idea what was inside that box, and she said, "I didn't ask Aaron, just kind of did what she was told." She said she placed the box inside the trash bag, covered it with baby clothes, and threw it in a random dumpster. And when they asked her, well, where's that dumpster? She said she could not recall where the dumpster was. So the prosecution's contention was that this box contained the murder weapon in the Odin Lloyd case, a Glock 45 caliber pistol. Now, her credibility was called into question many times during her testimony, and she seemed very hesitant to answer questions, very cautious. Many times she would assert that she could not recall key aspects of her role in all of this. Key stuff that would be really hard to forget, like how the hell can you forget what dumpster you threw a box in where Aaron Hernandez told you, essentially, it's none of your business, just throw it away, don't ask me about it. I mean, would you really not ask questions when someone tells you to throw a box away and that it was very important and they're in jail at the time for possibly murdering somebody? Ask yourself that question. At the very least, you would look in the box. So even with the immunity, it just seemed she was unwilling to admit her role in anything, and it did not come off good with the jury. I don't think the jury trusted a whole lot of what she was saying. They believed the box theory because it's on video, it's on surveillance, but they didn't believe she didn't know what was in there. This is just my opinion. Now, the sister of Odin Lloyd, a lady by the name of Patrice, she also testified, and this was on March 2nd of 2015. She spoke of her knowledge in the early morning hours of June 17th of 2013, and she testified she last saw her brother Odin Lloyd at 2:30 a.m. when he entered the back seat of a Nissan Altima outside of their home. And this was confirmed by surveillance that the neighbor of Odin Lloyd provided to police. Now, at the time his sister last saw Odin that night, she was sitting in a car. It was on the same street. She was with what she described as a male friend of hers. Now, in addition to what she observed visually, she also testified and described receiving several disturbing texts from Lloyd that night between 3:07 a.m. and 3:23 a.m. And of course, she turned all that over to police. The messages included, quote, "You know who I'm with," then, quote, "NFL," and then, quote, "just so you know." She testified that she had never met Aaron Hernandez prior to this incident, and she never heard her brother mention him. So initially, she thought he was bragging about being with an NFL star, essentially. She also testified that from her vantage point, she could not see who was driving that Altima. A fire department captain by the name of John White also testified, and he was the one who first responded to the scene of Odin Lloyd's murder, and he provided critical testimony regarding the condition of Odin Lloyd's body at that crime scene. And he also formally declared Lloyd dead at that scene. Now, during testimony, he stated he was called to the scene in an industrial park in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. And upon arriving, he said he assessed the situation. He found Odin Lloyd lying on his back, face up, displaying no signs of life. And he noted that Lloyd was cold to the touch, and Lloyd was very stiff, which that indicated to him that Lloyd had been dead several hours. He also said he observed flies entering and exiting Lloyd's nose, which also indicated he had been dead several hours. He testified that he officially pronounced Odin Lloyd dead at 5:47 p.m. This was on June 17th of 2013. And he described the area around the body of Odin Lloyd as a gravel pit and very isolated within the industrial park, which to me, that provided proof that this was an intentional effort to hide the body. He also testified that Lloyd had been shot 6 times. Now, sadly, during the fire captain's testimony, pictures of the scene and the body of Odin Lloyd, they were shown in the courtroom, which prompted a extremely understandable emotional outburst from Lloyd's mother and actually caused her to leave the courtroom. She, unbelievably to me anyway, was not made aware that this was going to occur, that they were going to show pictures of her son's dead body right there in the courtroom at that time with that witness. Now, usually this comes up ahead of time because they want the family to know, hey, we're going to show pictures here. So today when, XYZ witness testifies, if you don't want to see those pictures, you need to leave the courtroom. It's just a matter of respect to me. But they didn't do that. And that kind of pissed the judge off, and it prompted him to, I guess you could call it, dress down the prosecutors. And he told them, don't let that shit happen again. You need to make us aware before you do that. Now, Captain White also noted the injuries Odin Lloyd sustained, including gunshot, to the chest, a gunshot to the side. He had some shots to the collarbone, a total of 6 shots in all. And he said he refrained from moving the body so as to obviously preserve the scene for police investigators to do what they do. Now, he did see 5 shell casings and an unlit blunt near the body of Odin Lloyd. And he had a very professional demeanor, this captain, during the testimony. He would detach himself, if you will, emotionally. He always referred to Lloyd as, quote, the patient. He wouldn't call him by his name. And that's probably a defense mechanism for these guys that see this shit all the time. You know, you almost have to dehumanize the situation to get through it. One thing he did do was come off very credible. This dude knew what he was doing. A rental car employee also testified by the name of Rela Smith, and she really provided the key evidence in this case that would connect Aaron Hernandez to the actual scene. She testified that while cleaning out the car, she discovered a spent .45 caliber bullet shell casing in the vehicle. She also stated that the shell casing was stuck to a piece of chewed up chewing gum that was blue. Now remember, in episode 1, I told you Aaron was caught on surveillance camera at a gas station that night with Lloyd and 2 other guys in that Altima, and he was purchasing blue Bubblicious. Now, at the time the rental car employee discovered this, she had no clue, no idea at all that there was a murder investigation going on that would involve this Altima. So she finds this, she just throws it in the trash along with a water bottle from that vehicle. She goes home that evening from work and she turns on the news and she sees this murder investigation was going on and that they were investigating Aaron Hernandez. And she thinks, oh shit, I may have thrown away the biggest piece of evidence in that case. The problem was the garbage at the rental car facility had already been collected that day. So she calls police and she tells them what she found and had thrown away, unfortunately. And miraculously, in my opinion, police go to the trash dump and they are able to locate the trash bag and the evidence inside of it that she found, which would provide a great setup for the next person that testified in this trial, and that was Massachusetts State Police ballistics expert Stephen Walsh. And he testified extensively about the analysis of the shell casings found at the scene of the murder and the shell casings found inside of that rental car. And he explained that the weapon used, which was a Glock .45 caliber pistol, was unique as it relates to the striations of spent bullet casings. So let me explain that for you. Glock barrels are manufactured differently from most other firearms, and that results in a smoother striation, which striations are the markings formed on the casings when a bullet is fired. They're typically unique to each gun. So these markings are smoother with Glocks. In addition, Glocks have what he termed as unique firing pin marks. This all makes bullets fired by Glocks pretty easy to identify. So he then testified that all 5 bullets recovered at the crime scene, these striations matched. But even more damning than that was the bullet found in the rental car of the car that Aaron Hernandez rented matched the 5 bullets recovered at the crime scene. And as if any more evidence was needed, there was surveillance footage from the industrial park showing that Altima entering the facility and leaving the facility. Next up was Maureen McCabe. She testified at the trial, and she was a forensic scientist at the State Police Crime Lab. And she discussed Aaron voluntarily providing saliva samples of his DNA, which was compared to both that marijuana blunt. Remember, I told you they found an unlit marijuana blunt at the crime scene, but also that blue Bubblicious gum that was stuck to the spent shell casing in the Altima that the rental car employee found. They tested that too. And guess what? Perfect match to Aaron Hernandez DNA. Imagine that. A forensic analyst by the name of Jessica Robideau also testified, and she was a footprint expert, and they tested 4 pairs of size 13 Nike sneakers that they recovered from a search warrant conducted at Aaron Hernandez's home. Now, none of the sneakers turned up positive for blood, which was what they were testing for. However, the same size and type of sneakers were matched to footprints found at the crime scene. Now, interestingly, even a water bottle found at the crime scene matched the flavor and type, which incidentally was blueberry vitamin water, to the same water found inside Aaron Hernandez's refrigerator at his home. And let's talk about this for a second. If you're like me, by now you're thinking this is a messy fucking crime scene. They've got Bubblicious gum stuck to bullets that are left inside a car. They got shell casings everywhere outside of this car at the crime scene. They got footprints everywhere on the crime scene. And this jackass is even throwing bottled water out at the crime scene. I mean, this was sloppy as they come. But what's that tell police? These aren't experts in murder. This wasn't a hit, if you will. Just totally sloppy. They're on surveillance cameras everywhere. And hey, that's great for police, but it just proves to you that these aren't professionals. This is just sloppy shit. Now, one witness who never testified in this trial was Tanya Singleton. Remember her? She was Aaron's older cousin. He went and lived with her when he was having problems with his mother after his dad died. She was the one who he looked at as his mother, and he said many times, it's the only one I trust in the world. Well, she was asked to testify against Aaron. As a matter of fact, she was subpoenaed and thus forced to testify. But if anything else, I'll credit her loyalty to him that she absolutely refused to testify, effectively told the court to go fuck themselves. Now, at this time, she was very sick, very late stages of terminal cancer. And with this refusal, she was facing jail time, but she didn't give a fuck. She could care less. She was not going to testify against Aaron. And she was charged with contempt of court. Now, her situation, she's in the last stages of her life here. She's got bad breast cancer, stage 4 stuff. And the judge knew that, and due to her condition with cancer, rather than jail time, she just got home confinement for not being willing to testify. Also in the trial, some of the house cleaners for Aaron testified, and they said they had seen Aaron with a gun many times, and they had seen one in the house while cleaning. And the police, it's important to note, they found no weapon in Aaron Hernandez's home, and that further strengthened the belief that he got rid of a weapon. A bunch of people had seen a gun in his house, yet no gun was found, murder weapon or not. There was no gun of any type found, and it kind of proved to the jury that all these people are seeing a pistol, and now he doesn't have one, so he must have gotten rid of it. So after a relatively long trial, on April 15th of 2015, Aaron Hernandez is found guilty of the murder of Odin Lloyd. And you could see that one coming, right? There's no denying this. There's proof freaking everywhere that he was certainly involved in this, and that according to all accounts, pulled the trigger. And Aaron Hernandez was subsequently sentenced to life in prison. Imagine that. This guy was an NFL star, had just signed a $40 million contract with the New England Patriots and could not keep his ass out of trouble. But it ain't even close to over for Aaron Hernandez. A new trial awaited, and that trial would be for that double murder in Boston that I brought up several times. But before we get into that, a lot of you may wonder what happened to the other two guys that were in that car with Aaron Hernandez the night that Odin Lloyd was killed. Well, Carlos Ortiz, one of those men, in a separate trial, he pleaded guilty to accessory after the fact, and he received a 4 to 7 year sentence. And Ernest Wallace, in a separate trial, was found guilty of the same charge and sentenced to the same sentence. Let's get into that Boston double murder that took the lives of two men in 2012. And that trial began on February 14th of 2017. Now, the star witness, if you will, during this trial was none other than the guy Aaron shot in the face and attempted to murder, Alexander Bradley. Remember? Shot him in the face. He went blind in one eye. I touched on that in episode 1. So a couple of things the police had outside of Bradley's testimony that would play a huge role in the prosecution's case of this trial. They had found the abandoned vehicle suspected to be used in the shooting, a Toyota 4Runner, in the garage of Aaron Hernandez's cousin, Tanya Singleton. They were serving a search warrant in the first trial and actually came across it. And they had some ballistic evidence as well during this trial, including shell casings found at the scene, matching the type of ammunition that Aaron Hernandez was known to possess. And they also had video surveillance showing Hernandez and Bradley leaving the nightclub shortly before the shooting, as well as that same 4Runner that was found at Tanya Singleton's home following the victims just prior to the shooting. So, as I said, Alexander Bradley's testimony is the absolute key to this trial. He is the only eyewitness of substance in this entire trial. Now, remember, in the other car, there were 4 people. 2 of them were killed. 1 of them was shot. The other one managed to avoid getting shot. We'll get into that a little later. But he was the one who knew that Aaron pulled the trigger in his testimony. Now, he was guaranteed immunity. So I'm going to go ahead and you're going to hear from Alexander Bradley's own mouth what happened that night. And this is going to take several episodes to cover his testimony, but you have to hear this from start to finish. There's no way to really summarize this. You need to hear everything this guy says. I promise you, it's going to reel you in. Alexander Bradley's testimony.
Now, when you moved with Miss Kay in Bristol in around 2007, at some point, Mr. Bradley, did you start to engage in a different way to get income in that time period, other than a legitimate job?
Yes.
And what was that, sir?
I was selling drugs, marijuana to be exact.
You were selling marijuana?
Yes.
And in 2007, leading into 2009, about how much marijuana were you selling?
It would vary between 10 to like 30 pounds a week.
Each week? And did you have particular customers, or
Yes.
was it narrowed down to just certain people?
For the most part, it was certain people. I had a pretty small circle.
Mr. Bradley, I'm going to call your attention now to a particular individual, the individual named Aaron Hernandez. When did you first meet Aaron Hernandez?
I first met, I don't want to say the exact year because I'm not sure, but he was finishing up college, anticipating the NFL draft. So in between him getting drafted, pretty much.
And Mr. Bradley, if you learned that Mr. Hernandez started in the NFL in 2010, would that help you figure out the year that you met him?
Yes.
What year would that have been about?
Well, between '09 and '10.
How was it that you met Aaron Hernandez, sir?
I met him through a mutual friend.
And
That was me and Mr. Hernandez.
a mutual friend that you both had?
That we both had. Yeah.
What was that man's name?
Individual named Daquan Brooks.
And what was it about Daquan Brooks? How did you know him?
I know him through the town, through playing basketball, a couple of different leagues. So that's how I met him. That's how my relationship began with him.
And was Mr. Brooks also an athlete potentially looking to go pro at that time?
Yes, he was a standout basketball athlete.
And who introduced who to whom? Did Mr. Brooks introduce you to Mr. Hernandez?
Yes.
And did you learn at that time that Mr. Hernandez was from a particular town, born and raised?
Yes, I was informed at that time that he was born and raised in Bristol, Connecticut.
Now, the person who you referred to as Aaron Hernandez, who you met sometime around 2009, do you see Aaron Hernandez seated in the courtroom today?
Yes, he's present.
Can you please point him out and describe an article of clothing that he's wearing?
The gentleman right there with the gray suit, light blue shirt underneath.
If the record may reflect, the witness identified the defendant, Aaron Hernandez.
It may.
Now, sir, describe when you first met Aaron Hernandez. What was the nature of your relationship, at least at the start?
Just casual. We had some things in common. We like to play video games. Nothing major. We just hung out, video games.
And other than playing video games, did you have some other things in common?
Oh yes, we like to gamble. We both smoke. We drink
So when you say smoke, what would you smoke?
marijuana.
And did Mr. Hernandez in that time period, 2009, he was still in college at the point, was he smoking marijuana too?
Yes.
Did you ever in that time period start selling him marijuana?
At some point, shortly thereafter, yes.
And what was, at least in 2009, prior to him leaving college and coming to the NFL, what was Mr. Hernandez's financial situation?
Prior to being drafted, it wasn't an ideal financial situation. He didn't have much money then.
And did you ultimately loan him or lend him money in any way during that time period?
Indirectly, yes. Marijuana, not particularly cash, but yeah, marijuana.
You would give him marijuana but not get paid for it?
At times, I would wait to get paid.
At some point, Mr. Bradley, you had what you described as at least an acquaintanceship that was developing at that point. When Mr. Hernandez entered the NFL...
Subject to the leading. I think I let a couple go. Please don't lead.
After you had this relationship you've described with Mr. Hernandez, did it change once he was drafted in the NFL?
Yes, it progressed.
How did it progress, sir?
We just started hanging out with each other more. He started inviting me to come around more, vacation or, perhaps to his house.
Where was he living once 2010 came around and he was drafted in the NFL? Where did he start living?
I believe it was Plainville, Massachusetts.
Plainville, Massachusetts. Just calling your attention to the board to your left. Is Plainville right about here where I have the green dot?
Yes.
What kind of residence was he living at in Plainville, sir?
It was like a townhouse or a condo type of thing.
Who was he living there with?
In the beginning, just himself, and later on, his fiancee, Shay Jenkins.
So once he entered the NFL in 2010, started living in Plainville, where were you living at the time? Were you still in Bristol or somewhere else?
I was still living in Bristol.
How frequently would you see Mr. Hernandez?
Quite frequently. It progressed into, I want to say, 3-4 times a week, 3 times.
3 or 4 times a week?
Yeah.
What would you do when you would spend time with Aaron Hernandez?
The same things I met him doing. We would just play video games, smoke and drink, just hang out.
Did you also go out anywhere together during that time period?
Yes.
Where would you go?
We would frequent some clubs. We went on a vacation to Miami around that time.
You went to Miami together, you and Aaron
Yes.
Hernandez? Did you
Yes.
go alone or with other people?
The initial time, I believe it was just me and Mr. Hernandez. It was me and Mr. Hernandez the first time I went.
Just the two of you?
Yes.
And when you would go out, did you ever go out to nightclubs with Mr. Hernandez between 2010 and to 2012?
Repeat the years again?
Between 2010 into 2012, did you go to nightclubs with Mr. Hernandez?
I believe we did.
And how frequently did you go to nightclubs?
At the very beginning, not that much, but we would go to some nightclubs.
You mentioned gambling. Did you ever go to the casino together with the defendant, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes.
Which casinos?
Foxwoods, Mohegan Sun.
When you would go to Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun with the defendant, would you go alone with him or with other people?
We were usually alone.
For the majority of the time that you spent with the defendant, Mr. Hernandez, Mr. Bradley, were you usually alone with him or was it more frequently with other people?
The majority of the time we spent together, we were alone.
How close did you get leading into 2012?
We became quite close.
What do you mean by
Very
that?
close. We were definitely best friends by 2012.
By 2012, you were best friends.
Best friends.
How frequently would you contact each other, either by phone or text message?
Definitely 6 or 7, most of the time every day. Sometimes 5, 6 days. Usually every day.
Every day?
Yep.
So at some point, sir, did your relationship, how did the fact that you were a marijuana dealer, how did that relate to your relationship with Mr. Hernandez?
I mean, that's kind of how it started. It was a business relationship. It progressed. What do you mean in terms of how did it relate?
Well, did you continue during the friendship you've described, did you continue to sell Aaron Hernandez marijuana during that time and
Yes.
supply him with marijuana?
Yes.
Would he pay you for it?
Yes.
And would sometimes you also give him free marijuana?
At times.
And at some point, you said the relationship progressed to being best friends. Did you continue to sell him or provide him with marijuana when you were best friends?
Yes, provide, I'd say, more or less.
More provide at that point?
Yes.
Mr. Bradley, I'm calling your attention now to 2011, leading into 2012. Was there a point where you and Mr. Hernandez began to frequent nightclubs?
Yes.
Where would you go predominantly?
Boston, the theater district. Connecticut, a couple places in Connecticut. West Hartford Center, Hartford, Connecticut, a time or two. We'd go to Springfield, Rhode Island, various places.
How frequently would you go to nightclubs during that time period, 2011 and 2012?
Quite often.
How many times a week would you estimate?
I would say, I don't know, it was kind of sporadic because it would depend on, a lot of times it depended on his schedule.
Let me ask you a little bit about that, Mr. Bradley. Sorry to interrupt you, but would the fact that he had the football season, would that change the frequency in which you would see Mr. Hernandez?
Check. Succeed.
Was there anything different about the different times of the year as far as how frequently you would see Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, it would vary depending on his schedule. I mean, football season or not football season, but I still saw him an awful lot. I was around all the time.
During football season, would you still see him multiple times a week?
Yes, definitely.
Did you go to football games, Patriot games?
Yes.
Would you go as on your own as after the Patriot games?
Yes.
Where would you go predominantly?
Back to his house. The majority of the time, back to his house.
I'm calling your attention now to the fact that you testified that you would go to clubs with Aaron Hernandez. You said some in Connecticut and some in Boston's theater district. Where were the clubs in Connecticut that you went to?
Different. West Hartford Center, there was a spot we used to go to. That we've been to. I can't remember the exact name of it. I think it's called Elbow Room. Rhode Island, I don't remember the name of the spot, but.
What about the clubs in the theater district of Boston? Which clubs did you frequent with Aaron Hernandez there?
Club Cure, predominantly Cure. I've been to Rumor, Venue, other spots, but usually it was Cure.
And how many times would you estimate that you went to Club Cure with the defendant Aaron Hernandez?
Double-digit times, I mean.
Double-digit times? When you went out to nightclubs with Aaron Hernandez in this time period again, 2011, leading into 2012, did you notice anything about the way the defendant, Mr. Aaron Hernandez, acted when he would be at nightclubs with you?
Yes.
What did you observe?
He acted in a manner. Like a tough guy all the time. Like is the way I would explain it. He didn't really like people staring at him. He had a problem with things that most people don't have a problem with.
When you say people staring at him, what do you mean by that? Like, give us a scenario that you recall.
I mean, I recall a couple different scenarios, but one in particular, a gentleman was staring at him.
Where were you? Do you remember which club?
I think we were at Rumor for that particular club.
Rumor in the Theater District of Boston?
Yes. And a gentleman was staring at him, and it turned into, an incident. I believe Mr. Hernandez asked the gentleman what he was looking at, and the gentleman responded by saying, "I'm looking at you." And,
What happened after that?
a mild, somewhat of a conflict ensued. It wound up getting ironed out with the gentleman saying to Mr. Hernandez, "I'm looking at you. You lost me a lot of money on the Super Bowl," type of thing, is what it turned into.
Were any punches thrown?
No.
Did you have to physically get involved in any way?
Yes, I wound up kind of diffusing it. I spoke with that gentleman, and, it kind of turned into nothing after that, but that was the extent of that situation.
And then what about any other situations?
There was an incident in Connecticut, I believe I remember in Waterbury, Connecticut, where same thing happened with a gentleman who was staring at him. And Mr. Hernandez always had a problem with people staring at him.
What would he say, if you recall, when people were staring at him? Did he say something to you?
He usually would say he didn't like people staring at him because he felt like they were trying him or testing him.
And you use the word trying?
Trying was the phrase he usually used.
He would usually use that word?
Yes.
Like in what context?
Mr. Hagan, do not leak.
You said he used a certain phrase in describing when people stared at him. What was that word that he used?
He felt,
Asked and answered twice.
Overruled.
What would he say?
he said he didn't like when people stared at him. He felt like they were trying him.
Did you have a conversation with him when he would say that at the club, particularly this time in, I think you said Waterbury?
Well, I don't remember what I said to him at that particular time, but what I usually would say was, you're a famous NFL player. That's what's going to happen. It's not that big of a deal. In other words, I used to try to explain to him that people weren't trying him all the time. It's just the situation, the position he was in, and he didn't really need to overreact all the time to that type of scenario.
The two situations you described, Mr. Bradley, the one at Rumor and the one in a nightclub in Waterbury, what observations did you make of the defendant's demeanor when he would be telling you that he felt like he was being tried?
He got upset about it. I mean, he didn't like it. He always got upset about that particular thing.
And those two occasions that you've described, did he actually leave the club afterwards, or did you leave with him? What happened? How did they end?
In Waterbury, no, we wind up staying to the end, and we left when it was over, but at that particular time, that's Waterbury, Connecticut.
And what about the time at Club Rumor?
We stayed to the end of the club. We didn't leave right away.
Calling your attention now to other times that you were at clubs with Aaron Hernandez, what was his general demeanor like at the clubs when you were out with him during that time period?
He wasn't real social. He's kind of standoffish, excluding me, He didn't really mingle too much inside the clubs. He wasn't very social.
Did you have, prior to July of 2012, other than what you've already testified to, did you have conversations with him about him feeling that people were trying him or testing him?
Objection, Judge. Asked and answered.
Sustained.
Calling your attention now, sir, to the Super Bowl in 2011, actually into 2012, the Super Bowl, Patriots versus the Giants. Did you go to that Super Bowl?
Yes.
Where was that?
Indianapolis.
What was the result of the Super Bowl, the game?
The Patriots lost.
Did you notice any difference in the defendant's demeanor after that game?
Not particularly after the game. I mean, I know he was sad that they lost, but.
And what about the times that you went to clubs after February of 2012? Did you continue to go to nightclubs after that?
Yes, we did.
And what clubs did you go to?
Usually Cure.
Usually Cure?
Yes.
Were there any other instances prior to July 16th, 2012? Were there any other instances of Cure that you recall of the defendant getting angry?
Particularly, no. No, not that I can recall.
And how frequently would you go? In other words, was it a weekly thing? I'm talking now into 2012, the winter into the spring of 2012. How frequently would you go to nightclubs with the defendant?
Very frequently.
Week? How many times a week?
Well, with him, usually once a week with him. I mean, it would depend. If the football season was out, it would be times we went 2 times in a weekend, 3 times. It would depend on the schedule.
At some point, Mr. Bradley, did the defendant, Aaron Hernandez, ask you to help him purchase something?
Yes.
What did he ask you to help him purchase?
He asked me to get him a firearm.
Do you know when this was? Particularly in relation to July 16th, 2012.
I want to say definitely at least a month prior, maybe 2, but definitely a month prior.
A month or 2 prior?
Yes.
Did he indicate to you why he wanted you to purchase a firearm for him?
Yes, he felt like he needed it for protection. He felt like he was tired of people trying him and, people staring at him. He felt like people thought he was soft or something, and he was out to prove something.
He told you that he felt that people thought he was soft?
Judge, counsel repeating the witness's answers without a question.
What a question.
To give the context of what you just stated, Mr. Bradley, what did he say about what he thought people thought of him?
He was fed up with the whole feeling as if people were trying him situation, so he wanted a firearm to protect himself in the event.
Did he ever indicate to you whether or not he felt he was being tested or tried in certain areas as opposed to others, meaning certain cities?
Yes, it was usually in downtown Boston area, Cure area.
He told you that?
Oh, that's when he didn't say, I feel like that, trying me here in Cure, but that's where he was on heightened alert, was in that area all the time.
Objection 1 strike.
Lay a foundation to that, counsel.
Did you have conversations with him both prior to and after going to clubs in Boston, downtown Boston? Just general conversation?
Yes.
And did he ever indicate to you any stress or angst that he had about going to clubs in Boston?
Yes.
What did he say exactly?
He was tired of feeling like people were trying him. He would ask me, why don't people stare at you like that?
What would you say in response?
And I'll respond to him, pretty much because I'm not you. I mean, I would say, we're not in the same position. You're a star athlete. I'm a regular person.
Now, do you recall, Mr. Bradley, whether or not prior to July of 2012, if Mr. Hernandez had a situation with any particular group of people in Boston?
There was a particular group of people who he felt like, were always staring at him or watching him or type of thing, where he had, eye contact with.
And do you remember anything about that group of people, like any types of shirts they wore or anything like that?
Yeah, it was a group of people. They used to wear these shirts called that said City Angels on them, and there were a large group of people. There usually were a lot of them. There was always a lot of them. And the clubs.
Where were they? Were they in particular clubs or
Cure usually?
In Club Cure?
Yes.
Did they wear shirts that said what you've described, City Angels?
Yes.
May I approach a witness, sir?
You may.
Mr. Bradley, I'm going to show you on 9 photographs. I'll just ask you to look through those. Do you recognize the apparel that's depicted in the 7 photographs, sir?
Yes.
And is that the apparel that you previously just described, sir?
Yes.
And what apparel is that?
It says City of Angels.
And is that the apparel that the individuals were wearing that you previously just testified to that Mr. Hernandez had some concerns or issues about?
Yes.
Sorry, there's 9 photographs total. Your Honor, I said the 9 photographs be stapled together, marked as an X number exhibit.
Objection. Without objection, they received.
Mr. Bradley, I'm just placing the front page of Exhibit 283. Is that one of the types of apparel that you're describing?
Yes.
Second page,
Yes. Yes.
third page listed as Roxbury, Massachusetts. Individuals wearing a certain type of hat.
Yes.
Fourth page,
Yes.
and here in red, an insignia on the shirt or a sweatshirt that appear to be CA.
Yes, it appears to be.
Eighth page, same type of insignia on the shirt, sir.
Yes.
The next page, sir, also City Angels.
Yes.
And then the final page, the 9th page, do you recognize who's depicted in that photograph?
Yes.
And who is that on the right?
Mr. Hernandez.
And the person he's standing next to, do you see the logo on the sweatshirt?
Yes.
Does that appear to be the logo of the group that you previously described?
Yeah, it appears to say City.
Mr. Bradley, what do you recall in particular about the groups of men or women who were wearing the City Angels apparel? What do you call specifically happened between them and Mr. Hernandez?
A large group. They always came in big groups, just staring at each other for the most part, like long stares.
And did you ever witness any type of confrontation or altercation involving Mr. Hernandez and people wearing the City Angels shirts?
No, not particularly.
What did he say about it?
He thought like that group that had an issue with him because he felt like they always stared at him or stare him down when he was inside those places or whatever.
And he particularly mentioned the City Angels group?
Yes, that group.
Objection to the meeting again. Mr. Hagan, do not lead.
Did he specifically mention them by name?
He mentioned that group over there
That's overruled.
He mentioned what, sir?
the group over there with the City Angel shirts. Yes.
Mr. Bradley, you indicated that you were asked to purchase a firearm for Mr. Hernandez. And I believe you had stated he gave you the reason why he wanted the firearm to be purchased. Did you, in fact, purchase the defendant, Aaron Hernandez, a firearm?
Yes, I did.
Did he give you any money to do that?
Yes, he did.
How much did he give you?
$350.
Did he ask for a specific type of weapon?
No.
What did you do once you had the $350 from the defendant?
I went out and purchased a firearm.
And did you purchase it in Connecticut or in Massachusetts?
In Connecticut.
What type of gun did you purchase the defendant, Aaron Hernandez?
I purchased him a revolver.
What did it look like?
It was a .357 revolver it was silver with a brown handle.
Did you purchase any ammunition with it?
No, I didn't purchase ammunition. There were a couple of rounds in the gun at the time of the purchase.
Once you purchased that weapon for the defendant, did you do anything with the weapon? Did you give it to him?
Oh, yes, I did.
About how long afterwards did you give it to him, after you bought it?
Not long after. The next time he came back down, I gave him the weapon. It was within a couple of days.
Came back down from Massachusetts?
Yes.
And where did you meet with him?
In Bristol.
And you gave him the weapon?
Yes.
What did he say when you gave him the weapon?
Just looked at it and said, straight. It was straight.
Now, around this time period, Mr. Bradley, you've indicated it's about a month or two prior to July 16th of 2012. What was your relationship with the defendant like at this point? Were you still close?
Repeat the time frame again, please.
The time that you bought the gun.
Oh, yes, we were still close.
Had you met his family at any point at that time?
Yes, I had met a few members of his family.
Who had you met?
I had met.
Question has been asked and answered previously. Overruled.
Who had you met?
I had met his mom before, his fiance, some other family members. I'm not sure. I believe they were on his dad's side, but I'm not exactly sure who they were. Aunts.
Had you met any of his family who lived at an address called 114 Lake Avenue?
Yes.
Who had you met there, sir?
A relative of his by the name of Tanya Singleton.
What, if anything, did you notice about the relationship between Aaron Hernandez and Tanya Singleton?
It was a close-knit relationship. They were close.
How close?
Very close, it appeared.
How many times had you personally been over to 114 Lake Avenue, if you know?
I've been outside a few times. I've been inside, I'd say 3 times maybe, at the most. But I've been outside of the residence more times than that.
And did you get a chance to meet, did you ever meet who Tanya Singleton's husband was?
Yes.
What was his name?
I know him as TL.
TL?
Yes.
What, if anything, did you notice about the relationship between the defendant and TL?
They were cordial. They were friendly.
Mr. Bradley, I'm going to call your attention now to a particular night, it being a Sunday night, July 15th, the year 2012, leading into July 16th, 2012. Do you remember that night, sir?
Yes.
Calling your attention now to sometime in the evening hours, did you receive a phone call or page or text from the defendant, Aaron Hernandez?
Yes.
What was the nature of the contact? What did he ask?
He sent me, well, I shouldn't say a text. We spoke somehow, either by phone or a text, and he asked me if I wanted to step out.
What did step out mean?
Go out.
What was your response to him asking if you wanted to step out?
I agree.
Now, it was a Sunday night, Mr. Bradley. Was it regular or unusual for you and the defendant to go out on Sunday night?
Usually on Sunday nights we went out and we would go to Cure. That was our Sunday night spot.
That was your Sunday night spot?
Yes.
Now, when he said, if you want to step out, you said yes. What happened next, sir?
He arrived at my house sometime later. I'm not exactly how long later, but he came over and we wound up going out.
What car did he come over in?
Toyota 4Runner.
Had you ever seen that car before?
Yes.
How frequently had you seen that car?
I saw it plenty of times.
Do you know where the defendant had gotten that car from?
To my knowledge, she got it from a dealer called Jack Fox.
What was it, the nature of how he got it?
He told me he said endorsement car. That was the exact phrase he used.
Endorsement car?
Yeah.
What other cars did Aaron Hernandez have during that time period of 2012?
At that time, I believe he had a black Range Rover, and I believe maybe, I'm not sure other than that, a black Range Rover though, I know for sure.
How frequently would he use the Forerunner?
Not too frequently, but it will get used from time to time.
Had you driven it prior to that night?
Yes.
Approximately how many times?
Not very many. A couple times, I said.
Now, prior to this night, Sunday, July 15th, 2012, had you, and in between that point and when you bought the gun for Mr. Hernandez, had you seen him with the gun prior to that you bought for him?
In my life, have I ever saw him with a gun prior?
No, I'm talking about the gun that you bought about a month prior. Had you seen the gun at all before Sunday, July 15th, 2012?
On him, no.
Calling your attention out of this particular night, he came to your house. Where were you living at the time?
I was living in Manchester, Connecticut.
At what type of residence?
I had a condo.
How long had you lived there?
At that time, I don't recall exactly how long I've been there. I'd been there for a little while, though.
And at this point, Mr. Bradley, were you still engaged in selling marijuana as a way to make a living?
Yes.
Were you still selling the same amounts that you previously described, or had it changed at all?
I believe I was still selling large amounts. I don't know if it was exact amounts, but...
And at this point, again, we're at Sunday, July 15th, 2012. Were you street level sales or more of a higher level sale at that point? I mean, how many people were you selling to?
Not very many people, maybe 5 or 6, a small circle.
And what about the defendant, Aaron Hernandez? Was he still buying from you, or had he found an additional source?
He wasn't always buying from me, so I'm imagining he had another source.
How much marijuana at this time period, again, into July of 2012, how much marijuana was the defendant smoking on average?
Judge.
I'll see you at sidebar.
Did you become aware, though, Mr. Bradley, of whether or not the defendant was purchasing marijuana from anybody other than you?
Objection, this has been asked and answered. He's a guest. All right, the objection is sustained as the foundation.
Did you ever have conversations with the defendant about you supplying him with marijuana?
Did I ever have conversations with the defendant? Is that what you said?
Yes, about giving him marijuana.
Yes.
Well, let me back up a little bit. In this time period, 2011 into 2012, how much marijuana were you selling or giving to the defendant each week?
Objection, Judge.
No, overruled.
Repeat the question, please.
How much marijuana were you selling or giving to the defendant for free each week?
Are you asking me at a certain time frame? Like,
Yes.
I mean, it's varied before. Sometimes 4 ounces, sometimes 1 ounce.
Sometimes 4 ounces a week?
Yeah, it's been 4
How much is
ounces.
it?
Judge, the counsel repeating the witness's statements without a question.
Put a question.
Well, when you say 4 ounces, you're talking about 4 ounces a week, 4 ounces a month, 4 ounces. What are we talking about?
It would just be at a time, like whenever I saw him. You know, I can't minimize it to 4 a week or 4 at a time. If I came up 3 times in 1 week and he wanted me to bring him something every time, I just would.
How much is an ounce?
Are you asking me to describe it in
Yes, size-wise, describe it.
a sandwich bag?
Now, at some point, did the times he asked you for marijuana, did that decrease?
Yes.
When would that be?
Later into our relationship, like later, down the line, it decreased.
Did he ever indicate to you that he was getting his marijuana from somewhere else?
Objection, Judge. This has been asked and answered.
No, I don't believe that happens. You may answer that.
I want to say no. Like, I don't know exactly another exact source he was getting marijuana from. Like, I don't know, Mom, for sure.
Could you recall ever indicating that you knew of a white male that he was getting marijuana from?
Objection, Judge.
Sustained.
Yes, I
do you-
do recall.
No, don't
Do you-
answer that, sir. I sustain that objection.
Do you have any recollection of somebody else that the defendant got marijuana from?
Objection, Judge. This has been asked and answered.
Sustained.
Calling your attention now to once the defendant moved to Plainville, was there a point where his fiancée moved in with him, sir?
Yes.
Do you know about when that was?
No, not exactly when. I mean,
How frequently would you go over to the house in Plainville?
towards the end quite frequently. I mean, it would vary. There were times I'd be up there a lot.
And what, if any, observations did you make of the relationship between the defendant and his fiancee, Shay Jenkins?
They were in a relationship. I mean, I really don't know exactly what you're asking me. If any observations, they had a relationship. They were together. They appeared to be in love and loved each other.
Did she ever? What was your relationship with her, sir?
At that time, there wasn't really much of any relationship with her. I mean, we didn't speak, high and by. I was respectful towards her. She was respectful towards me, and that was the extent of it at that point in time.
Was there any issue that you ever observed personally with the defendant, Mr. Hernandez, going out with you from her?
Sustained.
Calling your attention now, sir, to when the defendant moved to Plainville. Again, we're in July 2012. You indicated that at some point in 2012, the amount of marijuana you would sell him changed. When was that exactly?
Overruled.
When was that exactly, sir?
Can you repeat the whole question, please, again?
Was there a point where the amount that you sold the defendant in marijuana changed in 2012?
Yes, I believe so. I believe it was, it was going down.
It was going down.
Yes.
I'm calling attention now, sir, back to Sunday, July 15th, leading into Monday, July 16th, 2012. Again, you recall that night when the defendant arrived at your house in a silver SUV.
Yes.
Once he arrived, what happened, sir?
He came in with a book bag. We sat down. We hung out for a while. We smoked, drank.
Did he indicate to you where he had come from?
No.
When you say he came in with a book bag, what was in the book bag?
I don't know what was in his book bag.
Do you know about what time it was that he came over?
It was nighttime. I want to say definitely after 8 o'clock.
Now, when you say you smoked, what did you smoke?
Marijuana.
Who brought the marijuana or who supplied it?
I had marijuana.
How much did you smoke?
A couple of blunts.
Did you do anything, watch TV, play video games? What did you do?
I think we just hung out and smoked some blunts and drank a little bit.
Was there a conversation about where you were going to go out that night?
Yeah, we were going to go out. We were debating on where we were going to go. We wind up.
What was the debate between going where or where?
Well, we couldn't decide whether or not we were going to just stay local or go up to Cure or Mass.
What would local mean? Would that be a certain city in Connecticut?
Hartford, West Hartford area.
And was the decision made ultimately of where you were going to go?
Yes.
Where was that going to be, sir?
We were going to Mass, to Club Cure.
Whose decision was that?
It was ours, a mutual decision. We just decided we would go there.
Was anybody else with you that night?
No.
Was there any discussion about having anybody else meet up with you or go out with you?
No.
Calling your attention to sometime approximately 10 p.m., did you leave your house or your condo in Manchester?
Yes, we did.
Prior to doing so, what, if any, observations did you make of the defendant and his car?
Once we got to the vehicle that we used, the Toyota 4Runner to drive up there, he popped the hood, threw me the keys, and placed the gun under the hood of the car.
When you say place the gun under the hood of the car, where did he get the gun from?
I don't exactly recall like where he pulled the gun out of her, but I had given him clothes prior to that to come down. So,
What did you say you had given him clothes? Why did you give him clothes?
because when he came, he didn't have legitimate clothes to go out in. Like, I believe he had on, he didn't have on jeans and club attire, I should say. He didn't have club attire at the time.
Does club attire mean you can't wear shorts?
Yes.
You need long pants?
Need jeans, yes.
So did you supply the defendant with some long pants?
Yes.
Were you two similar size back then in 2012?
Yes.
And did you also supply the defendant with anything to wear as far as a shirt?
Yes, a shirt, a t-shirt, and jeans.
What about a hat? Were either of you wearing hats that night?
I believe we both wore hats that night.
Did he have his own hat, or did you supply him with a hat as
I
well?
believe I gave him a hat as well.
So after you gave him a jeans, shirt and pants, jeans and a shirt and a hat, you indicated at some point outside you saw him with a gun. Is that right?
Yes.
You don't know where he took it from?
No, because, we were just walking to the car together. I wasn't really, watching him while we were walking to the car.
How close were you to the gun? Could you see what it looked like at that point?
Oh, yes, I believe.
And what did the gun look like?
It was the revolver. I believe it was silver with a brown handle.
You saw a silver revolver with
Yes.
what color handle?
With a brown handle.
What did you see him do with it?
Placed it under the hood of the car.
When you say under the hood of the car, where do you mean?
He put the gun inside the engine.
Near the engine? Had you ever seen him
somewhere in it, under the hood?
Had you ever seen him place a gun there before?
No, not prior to that. I don't recall seeing him place a gun there.
Did he say anything to you when he did this?
No,
Did you say anything to him?
no.
You weren't surprised at all to see him take the gun and put it in the engine block?
Not really.
Was there any conversation about the fact that you were going to Boston and whether or not that caused him any concern?
What do you mean prior to?
Well, before you leave your place in Manchester, was there any conversation?
Other than us deciding on where we were going to go out? No, not particularly.
Now, you indicated, I believe, Mr. Bradley, that you drove the silver SUV up to Boston?
Yes.
What route did you take?
The route I know would be 84 east to the Mass Pike, which I believe is 90 to 93, I believe, which is Boston.
About how long does that drive take from Manchester up to Boston?
Hour and a half, minimal, give or take.
Why were you driving, Mr. Bradley? Was that an ordinary situation, or was that unusual this night?
Yeah, I usually drove. Almost all the time I drove.
Why?
I just, I didn't really like how he drove, so I drove. I trusted myself behind the wheel. I felt like I was the better driver.
And when you got up to Boston, do you recall about what time it was when you got there?
I believe close to midnight.
Did you pick anybody up along the way, or was it just the two of you when you arrived in Boston?
Just the two of us.
Mr. Bradley, I have Exhibit 268 on the screen. At some point, you've had an opportunity to watch some compilation footage, both from Cure and from the Tufts Medical Center garage. Is that correct?
Correct.
And I've stopped at 12:06:18. Again, recognizing this is not in color, but does this appear generally consistent with the silver SUV that you were driving, the 4Runner, on July 16th, 2012?
Yes, it does.
Mr. Bradley, I've stopped now at 20 seconds into the exhibit. Do you recognize the car depicted on that screen?
Yes.
And what car is that?
That's Mr. Hernandez's SUV,
And the plate was from what state?
Rhode Island.
And do you remember that to have been the plate and the plate number that the car had?
I believe so.
And that, what kind of car is that? A Toyota what?
It's a Toyota 4Runner.
What we see in the video here, are you driving or is Mr. Hernandez driving?
If we're arriving, I should be driving.
Mr. Bradley, at this time, again, July 16, 2012, how well did you know the city of Boston?
I knew that area. I didn't really know, like, the city of Boston, but that particular area.
You knew that area, and how did you get to know that area?
Just from frequenting it so much. We went out, every time we went to Boston, downtown, it was usually in this area.
In the area of the theater district, is that correct?
Correct.
Once you got to the parking garage, do you recall where you went to first? Did you go to buy anything first?
I believe, I know we stopped, we went to a 7-Eleven at some point. I'm just not exactly sure when, but.
They approach you with sir.
You may.
Bradley, I'm just showing you what's been entered as exhibit number 4. Does that appear to be a fair and accurate representation of the area of the theater district of Boston?
Yes.
And calling your attention now to where it's marked as Club Cure, do you also recognize something marked as 7-Eleven?
Yes.
And were you familiar with the 7-Eleven that was around the corner from Club Cure back in 2012?
Yes.
And do you have any recollection of going to the 7-Eleven at the beginning of that night?
I'm not sure if it was at the beginning. I remember going to the 7-Eleven that night.
To get what, if anything?
I believe we got gum and some blunts.
And for those who may not know, what are blunts?
Cigars.
For what purpose?
For rolling marijuana. That was the purpose I used them for.
Now, Mr. Bradley, I'm fast forwarding to 1 minute and 30 seconds onto the exhibit. Do you recognize the two people coming across the street here?
Yes.
Who is that?
Myself and Mr. Hernandez.
The one on here on the right is who, sir?
That's me.
Now, Mr. Bradley, you indicated already your familiarity with the theater district of Boston. What about people from Boston or from Massachusetts? Did you know many people from Boston or Massachusetts?
I don't know anyone from Boston or Massachusetts.
You didn't know any? Sorry, I didn't hear.
No, I don't really know anyone from Massachusetts.
And as far as your selling of marijuana, did you sell marijuana to anybody in the Boston area in that time period of Massachusetts?
Absolutely not.
Did you sell marijuana to anyone in Massachusetts during that time period?
No.
And other than individuals who you may have seen at clubs, did you know people who frequented the clubs who were from Boston?
No, I didn't know anyone that clubbed in Boston.
What about the staff of Club Cure? Did you get to know them over the months that you went there?
Yeah, I knew who they were. I got familiar with their faces.
Mr. Bradley, I've stopped at 159. There's a group of men who appear to be walking across the screen, and we see some feet coming from the top of the screen. I've gone now to 205. Who are these two people?
That's the arrow's on me, and now it's on Mr. Hernandez.
The people who just walked by at that point, and for the record, we're at 12:28 a.m. on July 16th, 2012. Did you recognize those people at all at that time?
Not at all.
Did you have any interaction with them whatsoever?
None whatsoever.
Did the defendant, Aaron Hernandez, have any interaction with them?
No.
Had you ever seen those people before in your life at that point?
No.
Mr. Redder, we've gone now 2 minutes and 44 seconds into the exhibit. Was there any interaction whatsoever at this point between you and the men who are now in the line of the club?
None whatsoever.
Bradley, I've now stopped on the exhibit at 256. There was a point where you seemed to be extending your arm. Do you recall what was happening at that point? What your conversation, if any, was with Mr. Hernandez?
I don't remember what our conversation was at that point.
When you extended your arm, were you pointing to anything or anybody in particular that you recall?
No.
Were you?
Objection, Judge asked and answered. He said he doesn't remember.
The answer may stand.
Mr. Bradley, was there a rule that you're aware of relative to hats at Club Cure?
Yeah, no hats were allowed inside.
Did somebody direct you to take your hat off at that point?
I believe so.
And what do we see you doing now? Are you handing the hat to somebody?
It looks that way. There's a big glare on my screen, so. But yeah, it looks like that gentleman right there is holding my hat. Yes.
May I approach your windows, Your Honor?
You may.
Yeah, it's a huge glare right here on the screen. Probably from. Yeah, that's better right there.
Now, at this point, Mr. Bradley, in the video, to the best of your knowledge, was the gun still in the engine block of the car, or had it been taken out, that you recall?
It was still in the engine block.
Now, stopped at 6:17. At the time, did you know the individual here in the braids?
No.
Had you ever met him before in your life?
No.
You ever heard of him before in your life?
Never.
Any of the people we see with him, had you ever met any of them prior to that?
None.
Mr. Bradley, stopped at 6:51 of the video. Do you recognize the two people coming in here where I have the cursor?
Yes.
Who is that?
Myself and Mr. Hernandez.
And the gentleman who seems to be leading you or walking you in, did you know him?
Yeah, from going up there. He was usually there when we went. He was usually the guy that kind of took care of us.
I didn't hear that. He was kind of the guy who what?
He was usually the guy that took care of us. He usually escorted us down when we arrived.
Do you remember his name?
No.
Now, Mr. Bradley, when you went downstairs into Club Cure, where did you and Mr. Hernandez go first?
We went to the bar.
Did you go to the bar together, meaning the same area of the bar, or did you go to separate parts of the bar?
We walked to the bar together, and then we went to separate sections of the bar, separate ends.
What do you mean by that?
Mr. Hernandez went off towards the right, and I went off towards the left side of the bar. It's different bartenders.
Why did you go to different bartenders? If you know.
I mean, those appeared to be the open spots. You know, I just go where I could get in and get a drink.
I'm showing you what's been entered as exhibit number 38. Do you recognize that, sir?
Yes.
And does that appear to be Club Cure, at least Club Cure after renovations?
Yes.
But is the placement of the bar still the same as it was back in 2012?
Repeat that, please.
Is the bar, at least the bar area here, the same as it was
yes.
in 2012?
Yes.
You indicated that you and Mr. Hernandez walked up to the bar. What side did he go to?
He went off towards the right.
Over here?
Yeah, towards that side, yes.
Where did you go?
Towards the left side.
Did you get a drink?
Yes, I did.
And did you see whether or not the defendant, Aaron Hernandez, got a drink?
Yes, he had got a drink or two.
A drink or two?
Yes.
And why do you think two?
Because a lot of times when we drank, we would get a shot of something and then another mixed drink. So we have two drinks.
So was there a period here that we're talking about when you're getting your drink, he's getting his drink, where you two were apart?
Yes.
And did you ever see him go off with a fan to get a picture taken?
No, I don't recall him taking a picture with a fan.
But was there a time that you were apart that could have been when he got a picture with a fan?
Objection to
Sustained.
Well, how long were you guys apart when you went downstairs and got drinks?
Not very long. I guess as long as it would have taken for us to both get drinks on separate ends of the bar. I mean, I don't know.
After you got your drink, when was the next point you saw the defendant, Aaron Hernandez? When did you see him? Did he come to you? Did you go to him? What happened next?
I just turned away from the bar after I got a drink, and I believe I turned and looked over, and we just kind of both met up somewhere in the middle over there near the bar.
And can you, that's a touch screen where you are, Mr. Bradley. Can you show where the two of you met up?
Somewhere in this area, right here.
Right there we have the green dot. When you met up,
Yes.
Did he have a drink or two?
Yes.
Did you have a drink?
Yes.
Did you start to have a conversation of any type?
I believe just a casual conversation. I don't remember exactly about what, but just...
As you were standing there, Mr. Bradley, with Mr. Hernandez, what happened next?
We were standing there, and there were some gentlemen off, not really too far from where we were standing, but more to the right.
More to the right side, this side over here?
Yes. And there was a group of guys, and one of the gentlemen was dancing, and he kind of danced his way over to where we were standing.
So he went in this direction here?
Yes.
And as he danced over to where you were standing, what happened next?
He bumped into Mr. Hernandez, and his drink splashed up and spilled on Mr. Hernandez, and some got on myself as well.
How much of the drink? A lot of it or a little? Or
No, just like a splash, more or less, I would say. Like the drink splashed.
So it wasn't the whole drink didn't spill?
No,
And how much splashed?
just some drops. Like, I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but a splash, like the drink splashed.
Did it get on your clothes or on Mr. Hernandez's clothes that you saw?
On Mr. Hernandez and a little bit on myself, too.
Do you know what part of the clothing it got on?
Oh, me, it was on my arm. I got splashed on my arm. I don't know, like, exactly where it was on Mr. Hernandez.
Did you see any stains on his pants or on his shirt or anything like that?
No, I just saw the whole drink splash thing. I saw the splash, but I didn't see, like, stains, no.
When the man bumped into him, was the man's back to Mr. Hernandez, or was he facing him?
It was kind of like the side of his body. He bumped in, like, with the side, maybe the shoulder type of thing.
And what was he doing when he bumped him? Did he appear to be...
He danced his way over there, like, he bumped him in rhythm, like he made it appear as though he bumped while he was dancing.
And the man who you saw bump him while dancing, have you seen him on the screen so far yet today?
Yes, Yes, I did.
And who was that?
The gentleman, you asked me if I saw him earlier with the braids, if I ever saw him before.
And is that the individual I have the cursor on here, sir?
Yes.
When he bumped Mr. Hernandez, what was the reaction from both of them?
Mr. Hernandez got mad. He turned towards him. And, I mean, I'm not sure if he did get words out or whatever, but he turned towards the individual and he was upset about it.
What made you think he was upset? What did you notice about his demeanor?
Because he turned angrily, you know, like he turned, like he turned in a manner in which he was going to make a confrontation out of the issue.
Did you say anything?
I don't remember him getting many words out, no. I don't remember him saying too much, but he turned.
And what did the man with the braids do?
The individual with the braids was laughing. He smirked. He was kind of laughing at the whole situation. He was aware of...
Was he facing Mr. Hernandez at that point?
Yes.
And he smirked at him?
Yes, he laughed. He was aware of the fact that the bump just occurred. He knew what just happened, and he smirked about it.
What was Mr. Hernandez's reaction to the smirk?
Mr. Hernandez was upset about the incident, the fact that he bumped into him, and that the individual, you know, didn't show respect and apologize. He just bumped into him and laughed about it.
And where were you at this point?
On the other side of Mr. Hernandez, standing side by side with Mr. Hernandez.
You were on his side? Do you remember if you were on his right side or his left side? If you
I was on his far side. So the way we were facing, I was on the left side of the green dot from how the screen's facing me.
On the left side of the green dot?
Yes.
Now, did that man with the braids who bumped into Mr. Hernandez and then smiled at him, was he with anybody else that you could tell?
Yeah, there was another group of individuals still standing in the spot that he was before he danced his way over there. So
Where was that spot, if you could estimate?
not as far over as this purple, but the original one you made, but right around here somewhere.
How many people did you see with him?
I believe there was at least 4 individuals with him.
What did they look like?
Darker complected. They appeared to be, a couple of them appeared to be African American, and that's pretty much how they looked.
And the man with the braids, what was his skin tone and coloring?
He appeared to be Hispanic, light skin, sort of like myself.
And any of the others in the group, did they appear to be light-skinned, or were the rest dark-skinned? If you recall?
There was some brown skin, and I think I recall one dark-skinned guy. And yeah, that was that. I think they appeared to be darker skinned.
Did they appear to be part of? Well, let me back up a little bit. When the bump happens, and you said Mr. Hernandez turned to the individual smiled. Was that man with the braids with anybody else? Meaning, was anybody else right next to him, or were they further apart?
Excuse me. They were closer to the original spot he was prior to bumping into us, but they weren't far. All of this is in close proximity. They weren't that far.
What happens after what you've described, where Mr. Hernandez got angry? What happened next?
Once Mr. Hernandez turned towards the individual, I kind of grabbed him by he had a short sleeve tee. I kind of touched him on his collar and was like, "Nah, let's just get out of here," to avoid the conflict.
Why did you do that?
Because I knew something was brewing. If I didn't do that, we were gonna have an issue in there.
What would make you think that?
Because his temper, the way he was just agitated, and I just knew what would happen.
Now, Mr. Bradley, in the prior occasions, the two instances you talked about at venue and in Manchester, you indicated those times you stayed in the club. Is that right?
Right.
But this time you wanted to leave?
Yes.
Why was that?
Because I didn't want conflict. I didn't come up there for that, and just to avoid it. Plus, he was in a position in his life where, he didn't really need that. So I just figured we could get out of there. There's other spots around.
What did you say to him?
I said, no, come on, let's get out of here. Don't worry about it. It's nothing.
Did the man with the braids say anything to Mr. Hernandez?
I'm not exactly sure. I don't believe he did, but he was standing there kind of laughing about the thing, about the situation.
If you could estimate, how long did this encounter take?
Sure, it was real quick. Maybe the whole thing, maybe a minute, the whole encounter.
And at that point, you said you told Mr. Hernandez you should leave the club. Is that right?
Yeah, that we should leave. Yeah.
Did you ever hear Mr. Hernandez say anything to the man with the braids before he left?
No, I don't believe he got very many words out because I was already on top of it fast.
But did you hear any words that he got out?
Maybe one swear, I'm not positive. I think he was starting to say something, and then I don't recall exactly what he said.
What happened once you started to walk away? Did you leave the club?
Yes, we left.
As you went up the stairs of the club, was there any conversation further about what had just happened?
Coming up the stairs?
Coming up the stairs,
I don't
yes.
recall what the exact conversation was. I just, we were just trying to get out of there. We were getting out of there.
Now, I fast forwarded the exhibit to 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Is that you there, sir?
Yes,
And the person here?
it's Mr. Hernandez.
What is he doing in the video, if you know?
He just finished up 2 drinks. Well, looks like 2 drinks. And I could see a phone in his hand, and then that's it. We just left.
Do you have any idea what he was doing with the phone?
None.
Mr. Bradley, I've stopped at 8:57. Can you describe what we see on the video and what, in the best of your memory, is happening right now?
He was mad. I don't remember his exact words, but what he was saying something along the lines of, he was pissed. He can't stand when people try to play him. Same thing, trying him.
What was his demeanor and attitude like at this point, sir?
He was upset.
Just stopping at 9:42, and it's 12:40 in the morning on the 16th of July. Where were you headed at this point? It seems like you're following Mr. Hernandez. Did he indicate where he was going?
No, I mean, I know when we left, I know there's other places in the area, so I was just saying to him at some point, let's just go to another place, like another bar, somewhere else.
Mr. Bradley, I'm letting the tape play, and there appears now at 12:40 and 11 and 27 seconds, you have your arms, both arms extended outwards. What are you saying, if you recall, at this point?
Because at that point, we're engaging in a discussion in which he's saying, he was mad at the disrespect over what just happened.
What did he say about the disrespect? What words do you recall him using?
He was just mad about the whole drink spill situation. I mean, I don't remember his exact words, so I can't give you, exactly what he said, but he was upset,
Did you say why the drink situation made him mad?
Objection, Judge. You just answered because I remember the conversation.
Sustained. What, another question?
Well, do you remember any part of the conversation as you're walking on the sidewalk?
Yes, the conversation, that whole conversation right there is me explaining to him that is not that big of a deal. And even if it is to him, we can't go in places like that and get into that type of trouble because he has too much to lose. So it's not worth it all the time to just...
What was his reaction to you saying that to him?
Yeah, I know, but still, I hate when people try to play me.
Did you say try me?
Try me, that's the phrase he always used.
Objection, Judge.
No, overruled.
And what did you understand the phrase try me to mean?
Objection. This has been asked and answered. You're covered.
Sustained. Move on.
Sir, on the video that I've played, you walked almost to the entrance to the garage. Now you're walking back. What's happening now, sir?
We're still just having that same conversation. And I mean, that's what I recall of it. We're still having the same conversation, the same thing. I'm explaining to him that
Had you ever had a similar conversation with him in the past?
plenty of times.
How many times?
I can't put an exact number on it, but multiple times.
And what were the circumstances of those multiple time similar conversations? Did they involve nightclubs?
Always involve nightclubs.
And what was it that led to that similar conversation you had multiple times?
Stares, people staring at him too much, too long, too much eye contact with him, things like that.
Did you just see what just appeared on the screen, sir?
No, I didn't.
Did you just see Mr. Hernandez do something there?
I saw some gesture, yes.
And what gesture did you see?
When he put us, that's when we went across the street to the other place.
Did you see him do something with his hands before that?
Yes.
What did he do?
That was all right, let's just go. Because I was trying to get him to, let's just go into another spot. And he agreed to it, and we just went over there to the spot across the street.
Again, at 42:10, you again were putting your hands out stretched, Mr. Bradley. What's going on in this conversation?
Oh, we're still having that same conversation. It's just, all of this right here is just me telling him, it's not that serious. Like, the situation, it's not that serious. I know it was rude. I know it was, disrespectful, but it's not worth making an issue out of it.
And I've stopped at the exhibit 12 minutes. Also, the screen time, 12:42, 28 seconds, 91 tenths of a second. Does Mr. Hernandez have his hands on his hips?
Yes, it appears his hand is on his hips.
And you appear to be doing something with your hands. What are you doing there, sir?
Expressing something. I mean, we're still having a conversation. I'm expressive in that way with my hands when I talk. So exactly, I couldn't tell you what that gesture with my hand meant, but we're still carrying on the conversation about what transpired inside.
And what was his demeanor? Was he calm now or still angry? What was he like?
No, he's upset about the thing still. He stayed upset about it.
Now, Mr. Bradley, on the video we saw that you went across the street. Where did you and Mr. Hernandez go next?
We went to a bar across the street.
Do you remember which bar?
Yes, it's called Caprice.
Caprice?
Well, that's what it was called at the time, yes.
And is that Caprice?
Yes.
And where is that located in relation to Cure?
It's across the street, across the street and a little further up.
And showing you on Exhibit 4, is it basically in this area here, sir?
Yes.
Is there a hotel that's attached to it?
Yes.
What hotel is that, if you recall?
Holiday Inn, I believe.
When you went across the street to Capri, were you greeted by somebody at the door?
Yes.
What do you recall about that person?
Excuse me. It was a short Hispanic male who came up to us when we first arrived. He was offering us some type of service. I believe it was either maybe bottle or table or something like that.
Did he appear to recognize Mr. Hernandez, or was he offering that to everybody who came up?
No, I believe he recognized us, or Mr. Hernandez, I should say.
Once the offer of table service was given, was there further conversation with the man?
Yeah, we declined, and he wound up giving me a card of some sort. He's a promoter, so he gave me a card to contact him if we ever wanted to come over there.
Where did you and Mr. Hernandez go after that? Did you go into the club, Capri?
Yes, we went in.
You declined table service. Did you go to the bar?
Yes, we went to the bar.
When you got to the bar, did you get a drink?
Yes.
What happened once you were at the bar, Capri, having a drink? Did you or Mr. Hernandez notice something?
Yes. Mr. Hernandez turned around and was like, see, it's like, it's them, it's one of them. And there was a gentleman that came inside who I thought was a gentleman from the club as well. So it did appear to be a gentleman. Like, it appeared as though we got kind of followed over there. Like someone came out and went over there.
What was Mr. Hernandez's reaction?
He got more upset.
In what way? What did you notice?
He was more upset. He was saying to me, like, see, type of thing. Trying to, bolster his claim that he was being tested and they were following him.
And then what did you say to Mr. Hernandez in response to that?
Let's leave here, too.
What was his level of agitation at this point, sir?
He was agitated. I mean, it was heightened. It was boosted up again, or more than it already was.
Did he make any more reference to being tried or tested?
I don't know if that was the exact term, but he was like, see, there they go, type of thing.
Now, you indicated, Mr. Bradley, that you told Mr. Hernandez, and let's leave. Did you leave?
We left right away.
And calling your attention back to the video exhibit at 105. Do you recognize the two people coming across the street?
Yes.
Is that you and Mr. Hernandez?
Yes.
Is this when you left Capri after seeing somebody you thought was with that group?
Yes.
All right, it looks like you and Mr. Hernandez just did a fist pump. What was that about, if you know?
Exactly, I don't know, but
Mr. Bradley, I've stopped at 1344. What was your height and weight at that time? Were you bigger than you are now?
Yes.
Do you know what your weight was?
I was almost 260 there.
Just stopping at 1351. Again, is your face, no disrespect, a little rounder than it is now?
Yes.
And the person here is who, sir?
Mr. Hernandez.
Are these the clothes you let him borrow?
Yes.
What about what's around his neck? Do you know what that is?
It appears to be some chains or necklaces, or looks like rosary beads to me.
Rosary beads. Did you give those to him, or did he have those on his own?
Those are his. Those belong to Mr. Hernandez.
The two hats that you're wearing, Mr. Bradley, yours being what appears to be, is that a red Phillies hat?
Yes.
And do you know what kind of hat he's wearing, the defendant?
That's a Cardinals hat.
And is it what color?
Gray and orange.
Mr. Bradley, I've advanced to 1404 on the exhibit. Do you recognize the car now leaving?
Yes.
Which car is that?
It's Mr. Hernandez's SUV.
And can you tell from the video who's driving?
Mr. Hernandez is driving. I'm in the passenger seat.
Now, do you recall him driving that night, or do you think you were driving the whole night?
No, originally I thought I was driving at this point too, so the whole night.
So you were ultimately shown this video, and it refreshed your recollection that he was driving at some point.
Correct.
Now, Mr. Bradley, you appear to be leaning back significantly. How do you keep your seat when you ride in a car?
Object to the plea.
Sustained.
How do you keep your seat? How do you sit in your seat when you get into a car?
Somewhat reclined.
Do you always do that, or is that just something you do at certain times?
I usually do.
Do you sit like that even when you drive?
Yes.
Objection to absolute.
Sustained.
Do you sit like that when you're in a passenger seat, a driver's seat, or in the back seat?
Yes, I usually sit reclined.
Mr. Bradley, for the record, we're 14 minutes and 20 seconds into the exhibit. It's 1:16 in the morning. Was that the silver SUV that you were a passenger in that's now pulled out of the parking garage?
Yes.
Where did you go from there, sir?
We made a right at some point down there, and we went to a street to the right, or we made a right and we went to.
Where did you go?
I mean, I don't know the name of the street, but we made a right and went to another street, parked on another street.
Do you know what street that was or what it was next to? Any landmarks, establishments?
I remember, like, a funny split in the road, maybe where, I mean, I don't know the name of those streets, but it's kind of like a, I don't know how to explain it. Like maybe like a small boulevard, like where the road splits. We went right. We parked over there somewhere. I don't know the names of those streets. So.
Once you parked, did you get out of the car?
Yes.
Where did you go?
We walked. We were walking on whatever street, whatever area that is over there. We were walking and just smoking, and we walked and smoked for a while.
What were you smoking?
Marijuana.
When you were walking, were you planning to go anywhere, or were you just generally walking around?
We were just walking and just smoking and talking.
About how long do you think you were out walking and smoking and talking?
I don't know exactly, but a little while. Maybe I want to say maybe a half hour or something. Not, I don't know exactly.
After walking for around a half an hour, as you said, did you eventually go back to where the car was parked?
Yes.
And at this point, did you get into the driver's seat or the passenger seat?
Driver's seat.
Where did Mr. Hernandez go?
What seat did he go sit in?
Yes.
The passenger seat.
At any point, did he go somewhere before getting in the passenger seat?
Yes, he removed the firearm from out of the hood of the car.
How did you know that? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
When he did he pop the hood or did you pop the hood?
He popped his own hood.
He popped his own hood?
Yes.
And when you saw him after he popped the hood, did you see him reach to a certain area?
Yes.
What part?
I don't know the exact parts of the engine, but he reached into the side, or off to the side, and grabbed the firearm.
Did you see the firearm?
Yes.
What did he do with it after he got it out of the engine block?
Placed it in the glove box inside the car.
The glove box, meaning the
glove compartment.
Glove compartment right next to where right in front of where the passenger sits?
Correct.
What happened next, sir?
We drove off, and we drove back. I believe we did we were just driving for a little bit. We wound up doing a couple rounds around the area, a couple laps. And ultimately, we wind up parking past the garage on the left.
Now, what time was it in relation to when the clubs let out at this point, sir, if you recall?
It was almost time for the clubs to let out.
Now, on this exhibit, I've stopped at 2317. The silver SUV that we see here, sir, does that appear consistent to you with a car that you know?
Yes.
And was it which car was that?
It appears to be Mr. Hernandez's SUV.
As you were doing what you described as, I think, 2 laps around the block, did you notice any of the individuals that you'd previously seen at Cure, and in particular the man who had spilled the drink on Mr. Hernandez?
No, sir.
Mr. Bradley, I've stopped at 2552 on the exhibit and 2:21 a.m. Do you see a silver SUV that you recognize?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off right here, and we'll pick up with the next episode. And look, I'm going to drop frequent episodes of this until we get through the testimony of Alexander Bradley, because he's on that stand for several days, but you need to hear all of it. So each drop, I'll cover a couple of hours of that testimony, and we'll talk about it in subsequent episodes. Thank you so much for listening. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/exposed podcast files, commercial-free early releases, bonus episodes, etc. Check it out. Thank you so much to those that support this show. I could not do it without you. And until next time, for Exposed Scandalous Files of the Elite, I'm your host, Jim Chapman. Much love.